Alright guys, so now what we need to do is just add the rest of the stuff for Passport to actually work and to authenticate. So if you remember from the last project, we had a Passport serialize user and deserialize user function. So we're going to go into our config passport.js and we're going to go down, let's see, down to the bottom. That should have a semicolon. And we're going to go right here. Make sure you're still within the module exports. So you're still within here. And then we're going to do our passport dot serialize user. Okay, and then we're going to pass in here a set of parentheses with user and done. Okay, we'll set an arrow function, and then we're going to just call done, null for the error, and then the user.id. Okay, then we want the deserialize. I'm just going to copy this. So deserialize user, and that'll take in ID and done. And then we're just going to say user.findById, which is a mongoose method. We're going to pass in the ID. It's going to give us a promise back. It'll give us the user, and then we're just going to set done with null as the error, and then pass the user. And that's it. And this is the same stuff you'll find right in the documentation. So let's save that, and then we're going to go to our app.js, and we need to add those 2 lines of middleware that we used in the last project. So I'm just going to go, let's see, I'll go right above the port number here, and let's say passport middleware, and we're going to say app.use. Pass in here passport dot initialize, which is a function, and then we also want passport dot session. Okay, so those are the 2 lines we need here. Now we're also going to need express session again. Remember we used that in the last project, so we need to install that. We're also going to install something called cookie parser. All right, so we need express session. Yeah, we need this right here. And remember, we have that middleware we need to add. That needs to go above the passport middleware, okay? Because passport session needs that to run correctly. All right, and then we also want cookie parser, which, let's see, will populate request.cookies with an object. Optionally, maybe you may enable signed cookie support, secret or string array. You know what? I'm not exactly sure if we need this for what we're doing, but I'm going to install it anyways because it's very small and there's only 1 line of middleware. So we're going to install both of these. So let's go ahead and stop this and say npm install express-session and cookie-parser --save. Okay. And then let's see, we're going to go right above the passport middleware. And let's do app. Actually, first of all, we need to bring in those 2 things. So up at the top here, let's say const cookie parser equals require cookie-parser, and let's do const session equals require express session. All right, and then we're going to go down back down here, and let's say app.use cookie parser. Okay, and then under that we're going to say app.use, and we're going to pass in session, okay, which is a function that's going to take in an object, and we're going to say secret We'll just set that to secret. And then we're going to say resave false. And save uninitialized, we'll set that to false. All right, and basically the, what we just saw on the, where is it? Right here. All right, so I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's start up our server with node mon. Okay, we're going to try this authentication again. We're still getting this error. Huh. Alright guys, so for the first time in this course, I have to say I am stumped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to just check this out a little more, go over everything, make sure there's no typos, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I think, I haven't tested it out yet, but I think I know the issue, and it's because we're actually setting all of this initialize and session and stuff below the route. So the stuff in the route doesn't know what's going on. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this and put this right above the route. Okay, I think that's it, and if it is, it's a stupid mistake. Let's click. Yep, that was it. You can see now we're redirected to the dashboard because that's what we specified in our routes auth file. If we were successful, we get redirected to dashboard, which obviously we haven't created yet, but we should now be authenticated. Alright, I apologize, that was kind of a stupid mistake. I should have known to put the routes at the bottom. Okay, so what I want to do now is just create a route to verify if we're actually authenticated and logged in. So in our auth.js, which is in our routes folder, we're going to create a new route. So let's go, let's see, so that ends here. Let's go right here and say router.get. And this is going to be auth/verify. Oops. Say recres. And then let's see, we're going to say if. Now, if we're authenticated, we should have access to rec.user. So we'll say if rec.user, then let's actually console.log. We'll log rec.user. Okay, else. What's this virtual? I'll close that up. So else, then let's console.log, and we'll just say not off. All right, so let's save. And if we go to auth/verify, we get down here not auth. Now, notice that we did authenticate, but we restarted the server. Okay, so when we restart the server, then it's basically logs us out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just log back in by going to auth Google. Jeez, I can't spell Google. Okay, now let's go back to auth verify, and there we go. Look down here and it's logging all of our information, so we now have access to this inside of rec.user. Alright, awesome. So our authentication is working. Now, just like we did in the last project, I just want a global variable for our user so that we can use it in like the nav bar and stuff like that. So let's go into app.js. Oh, one other thing, we need a logout. Let's do that. So inside auth.js in our routes, we're going to create a logout route, which is very, very simple. We're going to say get logout, so it'll be auth/logout, And then all we need to do here is say rec.logout. Okay, and then we'll just redirect. We'll say res.redirect to /. All right. Now we're not authenticated anymore because we restarted the server. All right, but if we go and we authenticate again, and we go to auth verify, okay, you'll see we are logged in because we're logging the user info. But if I go to auth logout, okay, it logs us out. And if I go to auth verify again, it says not auth. All right, so we're able to authenticate with Google and log out. All right, so again, let's just add that global variable real quick. I'm going to go down. Let's see, app.js. Let's go right below the passport middleware. And from here, let's just say set global vars, and we're going to say app.use. And we'll pass in here, oops, arrow function. Let's say rec res next, and then we're just going to say res.locals.user equals request.user or no. Okay, and then we just need to call next, and we should be all set. Good, so let's save that, and I think this is a good place to stop. In the next video, we're now going to move on. We're going to start to create our UI because now we have our authentication in place.